Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome back to TastyCakes, where I make American baked goods one recipe at a time. We're going to start leaning into baking classic American recipes abroad, and more specifically here in Spain. If you live here and you've ever wanted to make an authentic chocolate chip cookie and gone shopping for ingredients, you may have discovered that brown sugar, as we know it, is not easy to find. It is becoming more common, but it can still be tough to track down and a bit more expensive than you'd like. So a couple of years ago, I set out to figure out the best substitute, what it would be, and using the most local ingredients possible. And just so you know, brown sugar doesn't just sweeten a recipe, it actually also adds acidity, moisture, and color. So just swapping in white sugar isn't going to give you the same result. So I started by getting the sugars ready. I don't have a brown sugar that is directly from the US here, but the one that I use for the TC kitchen is nearly exactly like dark brown sugar, as you can see, though it is a bit darker. I'm still going to use this as the control sugar. So the first substitute I use is actually regular white sugar with molasses added in because ultimately that is what our brown sugar is made from. But I did try to get this substitute as close to the color of the control as possible. I stopped a little short because it got a little too wet. The second substitute is panela, which is a more natural and minimally processed sugar that has a color similar to light brown sugar, but it is drier. So I added some local honey so it simulated our brown sugar as much as possible. In this video, I'm going to be testing two types of cookies, chocolate chip and oatmeal. Probably the most well-known cookies that use American brown sugar. I did also originally test a syrup for sticky buns. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the blog post that's linked in the description to read up on the results. Okay, so getting started with the chocolate chip cookies, I was basically looking for three things. The right consistency in the dough before it was baked. I wanted to make sure that the moisture content of the dough was correct. The final look of the cookie. Did it have the characteristic light caramely brown color? And of course, the taste. Did it actually taste like a real chocolate chip cookie, or did it taste like a basic sugar cookie that had chocolate chunks in it? In the end, the winner was ultimately, in my opinion, the most simple substitution: white sugar and molasses. The sugar substitute had the most similar texture to our brown sugar, so that means that the cookies had enough moisture to bake up soft and chewy. And the white sugar granules are actually small and even enough to dissolve fully in the dough before baking so that the final cookie has a smooth color and a consistent look, like the chocolate chip cookies that we're used to. As well, the molasses adds the typical caramely flavor that we all crave in the chocolate chip cookie, and we can tell when it is not there. Next, I moved on to oatmeal cookies. While I was still looking for the right consistency in the dough and the same taste, I was not really concerned with the final look of the cookie, as the oats can hide some imperfections that are more easily seen on the chocolate chip cookies. And interestingly enough, in the end, I actually preferred the panela and the honey substitution with this cookie. Personally, for me, I feel like if there's a more natural and less processed solution or substitute, if everything else is the same, I'd prefer to use that over a more processed sugar substitute like the white sugar. And to be quite frank, the ultimate flavor was quite nice. Even though it wasn't exactly like the control cookie, I could taste a little bit of that honey, but it didn't really bother me. And it really did bring me back to the oatmeal cookies that my mom used to make when I was younger. So that's definitely a win. Ultimately, then there's really not one set substitution for brown sugar. It really does depend on what you're making and, quite honestly, your own personal preference. And what is most important to you. That might not be the same as me. Obviously, just because you can't find brown sugar you're used to here in Madrid or anywhere else in Spain, it doesn't mean that you have to go without your favorite American baked good. There are plenty of workable options. And these are the types of things that I look forward to continuing to explore here on TastyCakes. I want to help all of you become better and more confident bakers abroad. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more baking videos, and I look forward to seeing you at the next recipe.